There we go. Good morning, everybody. Realized I'm a couple of minutes early, so I thought I'd come. The reality is I hit the go live button a little bit early. I was just kind of hovering over it, and the finger hit the button, and away it went. So here we are. We're live. But we told everyone 9 a.m., so we're going to give them a couple of minutes. And maybe we're just going to chat. First of all, make sure you're hydrated, right? We got coffee. We got water. So good. Give yourself a towel. Okay, we're going to use this. If you're in the office, if you're legitimately in the office doing these chair stretches, you don't have a towel. I understand. When we get to that stage, there is a trick you can do. So we'll show you that. Don't you worry. But if you're doing this at home, grab a towel. So much easier. Especially nowadays, right? Get into a little motivational thing here before we start. So especially with COVID, okay, we're all stuck at home quite a bit. Our office environment and home environment have bled into each other. And what tends to happen is we end up working more, right? We end up, working on whatever on our computer at our kitchen table, and then we have supper and we're sitting and we're watching a movie, and then we think to ourselves about that email and say, you know what? If I do that email right now, then it'll be done. I'll just go back and do it, right? So we have to make sure that we don't overwhelm ourselves with work and get into a depressing cycle of constantly working, right? It's hard. But you think about when you're at work, you leave your house. First of all, you get some fresh air. That's good. So you go to this building, you talk to a whole bunch of different people, right? And then you leave and you come home. So if that pops into your head watching TV, you're like, oh my God, that email. You know what? Tomorrow I'll take care of that email. I'll remember that tomorrow. You're not stuck in this situation constantly working. So try to make sure that you take time to relax. You separate your work and your home within your home. So whether it be an office, whether it be a nook or a little area that when I'm here, I'm working, right? When I'm out here, I'm not. Now, yes, there's going to be some bleed. That's normal. But try to, as much as you can, separate your work and home life because you don't want to be always working. It's not a way to relax. These stretches probably help you because you're so tense, right? But really, let's try to relax. All right, 9 o'clock. Let's get one last sip of water. Good stuff. All right, so today we're going to work from the top down. Again, very arbitrary. Maybe we'll start flipping a coin and see, right? Heads, tails. That could be fun. We'll start that. All right. We'll start up here. Now we're going to do our neck stretches because remember, chair stretches are mainly focused for those people that are stuck in chairs for a long time or have mobility issues. But a lot of us, you think about it, since elementary school, we've been sitting in a chair, hooking over a desk of some kind, right? So all of our body is kind of gotten used to this lean forward, and we end up getting slouches and postural issues, right? So we want to kind of break that up. So we're going to start with the neck, because now you've had your neck down all day, right? But not in the healthy way, right? So we're going to do our neck stretches, but we're going to do a couple of different things today, okay? We're going to focus mostly, we're not going to stretch forward. We're going to focus mostly on the side and keeping that chin up. Right? Because if your head is down all day, where you feel the tension is going to be on that neck and a little bit in the back of the neck, right? So we've been holding on to holding that head up all day. Right? And you get a sore neck because your muscles start to fatigue. And then your tendons have to kick in to help. Right? So all these things. So we're going to bring the head down a little bit in our armpit, right? You remember this one? And you're really going to feel that entire section. Right? The deep breath. I know it's a little exaggerated when I do it because I want you guys to think about it, right? It really helps. Look, Lamaze class didn't help for nothing. There we go. Perfect, right? There's millions and millions of women who have babies around the world that will tell you that breathing works. All right, now we're going to work on the shoulder. We're going to start off with some shoulder rolls. Again, having your arms here is not the worst, but you're going to notice a little kind of a block on your way back, right? It's kind of in the way. So just make sure if you're doing it, you're not pressing up against your shoulders. Let's say they're better off here, because now they can move freely. Whereas I put them here, they're locked on one end, right? We're closing that chain. So we want to make sure that it's open chain. Good. And back the other way. Nice. Perfect. Just like that. Very easy, right? We'll do another one. Okay, ready? Go forward. Remember, we want to go nice and big. This is not about making small, tiny circles. This is about getting them as big as we can get them. Comfortably, of course. Good. And down the other way. Whoa, I got a crack on that one. I don't know if you can hear it in the camera, but that one popped. Woo! That's where I get a lot of my tension, right? Is up in that area. Just from likely my sleeping position. I stay asleep and I yawn. Oh my god. I hope I didn't get you guys. Was that contagious? Did you just yawn? That'd be pretty funny. Alright, we need some of that coffee. Now, the next one, we've done this before, okay? We're going to work on the shoulder blades and the shoulders. So, hands behind the head. We're going to sit up straight, and we are going to bring those elbows back, right? We'll just open that up. Good. And back down. Perfect. That was good. We're going to do a second one of those. All right, how are we doing today? Okay, arm's a little bit sore. You're getting some honesty here out of me all the time. When you exercise hard. The fact that you might still feel a little bit of soreness, that's pretty good. That's normal. Don't feel bad about it. Remember, deep breath. There we go. Nice. Good job. Remember, when we let go, we don't drop them, right? We release, bring them down. Doing great. All right, now we're going to do a bit of a chest opening exercise. And then we're going to do a shoulder exercise again, but I wanted to give the shoulders a bit of a break before we did it, because it's a little bit hard, okay? So, this one, you've seen, right? The chest opener. So, back straight. And we're going to bring our arms back. Now, if you are, we're going to give a bit of an advanced version of this. Okay? Because we want to just feel, right? So you're not pushing your hands up, right? You're opening yourself back, right? We're opening that chest cavity. See, I'm like puffing out like a peacock, right? Just sticking that chest out. I guess more like a rooster, right? Just spread that chest out, right? Because these chest muscles, you don't realize, can be tight from being hunched over all day. And that can actually affect your breathing. So it's good to stretch those out. Okay, so advanced version. Ready? So arms are going to go here to your back. Okay, and now we're pushing our chest out. A little bit harder, right? A little bit more challenging on the arms and shoulders. But a different way to do it if you find the other one a little bit easy. Right? Good. Perfect. All right. So that's sort of next level shoulder exercise. The reason I didn't want to do it afterwards, I didn't want to break up what we were doing, right? For the people who don't have towels. So you're going to put it behind your head. Now we're stretching. The idea is stretching the top shoulder, okay? So this shoulder is what we're stretching in this exercise, okay? So if your towel's not long enough to reach it, let's say a little bit problem reaching back, that's fine. Get a longer towel, right? Now this arm here, We're going to pull it down, and we're going to bring that arm all the way up. Just like that, right? Good. Perfect. And back the other way. We release. Nice. Good job, guys. Now we're going to go the other side. All right, here we go. Up. Grab the towel. Right, and we pull. So we're trying to simulate as if we're trying to scratch the center of our back, right? And just get that into a nice stretch. Relax. Good. And release. That's it. It's as easy as that. All right. Now, torso twists. We know these, right? We can call them the snake charmers. Get the arms up. And we're going to turn. Now, remember, we're making sure those hips, being in the chair, they're already automatically going to be locked. But we make sure we don't turn those too much, okay? So you go to a spot that is comfortable. Back straight. So imagine you're doing this hunched over. Bad idea. This, getting the arms up, encourages that back straight, right? So imagine I'm trying to do it like this now, right? Even if I'm trying to keep my back straight, you see the shoulders want to roll forward, right? As if my elbows are on the desk. Get them up, bam, just like that. And go this way, perfect, to the right. Nice. Stop. And other side. Doing great, guys. Doing awesome. Okay, now we're going to do some side stretches, okay? Now we can do these in the chair. You can do them standing up. But if you're at work and you're in a chair, we'll do them here, okay? So one arm, we're going to stretch to this side. So this arm is going to work like a counter lever. So it's going to go up above your head. And then it's going to be the weight and balance to hold you up. So you're trying to get that stretch right there. Right? So, perfect. Good. Right? And you're going to feel, as you do, you're going to feel that stretch coming from just about your belt line all the way up. Now, if you're more flexible, you can bend a lot more. But you don't need to bend more if you feel the stretch. Once you get to that portion where you feel the stretch, that's your line. If you're more flexible and you don't feel the stretch and you got to keep going, great. Right? But don't, if you do this and you feel the stretch, then that's where you go. Don't start doing this just because, right? We're searching for that spot where we feel the stretch. Once you hit it, that's where you stop. Good. Perfect. All right, one more other side. There we go. And done. Awesome. You guys are killing it today. So that upper body is really, really, really stretched out. Yes, we probably do a little bit more upper body in the chair stretches than we do lower body. And because there's not a whole lot we can do. We're going to do work on the hamstrings. We're going to work on the calves. We're going to work on the ankles, but that's about it. Lower body, because we're pinned to the chair, we don't have the range of movement that we would doing standing up ones. But lower back, everyone loves to stretch with the lower back. So here's what we're going to do: is sitting down, similar to when we stand, right? Knees are bent, so we already disengaged the hamstrings. Don't have to worry about that. Elbows, you're going to shoot for your knees, keeping your back straight the whole time. Good. Now from here, we relax ourselves downward towards our feet. Deep breath. And we just let that. And listen, guys, if you're really tense and this feels good, you don't have to rush up in 10 seconds. Relax, and you can stay down there and really let it work itself out. Good. Now, before we come back up, hands on the knees. Support the shoulders. So we get that back straight and back up. All right? Perfect. Doing great. So yeah, a lot of us get a lot of tension in the lower back. And if you get a good stretch, you're going to get riding right up through your lats into just about under your shoulder blades. It's a great stretch. This is essentially the child's pose in different positions, right? We're contorting the back in the proper way. So if it feels good and you want to hang there a little bit longer than I do, no problem, right? Don't worry about it. If you're doing this on your own, and there's no limit. If you're doing it right, you can do it as many times as you want, right? So let's say you do the stretches in the morning, right, and down, and you felt great, but it's a really stiff day, damp weather, whatever, and 2 or 3 o'clock, you get in pain again. Not pain, but you're getting achy and tired. You don't have to wait till tomorrow to stretch your back out. Right? Stretches like this. All right, guys, remember, support on the shoulders, right? And up, so the lower back's not pulling the weight up off the ground, right? So stretches like this, guys, right? They're relaxing stretches. You can do them as much as you want, right? I do them once a day at least. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there in the kitchen cooking something and I'll be doing a hamstring stretch, or I'll stretch my back, or I'll do a pencil stretch just because, right? Because it feels good. So go ahead and do it. You're not going to unless you're really, really pushing yourself beyond where you feel comfortable. So remember that stretch point, right? If you're pushing yourself to feel discomfort, yeah, you might hurt yourself, but as a general rule, you will not. Okay, so hamstrings. Remember, the high waist of the legs. You got to make sure, guys, remember, we're at the edge of the chair. We're not sitting up here so that the chair is digging into my leg. I mean, you can see here how uncomfortable that is just faking it, right? So whether it be to the side with, if you pardon the terminology, one cheek hanging off, right? Or forward, right? One of those 2 ways. Forward is probably easier because you don't have to worry about your balance. So toe up. I'm going to move that chair back. A little bit dark in that corner, huh? There we go. How's that? Good. All right. Toe up, right? Not extremely. Back straight. Back has to be straight, guys. If you have your back bent even slightly, even like what I'm doing here, you're going to push forward and you're not going to feel it till you're really deep. And by the time you're here, it's all going to be in the back of the knee, right? That's where it's going to be focused. We don't want that because that is hyperextension of the knee. We want this section here, entire hamstring, from insertion point to exit point, all right? So to do that, we got to pull back on this side, right? How do we pull back on that? We straighten up. And just by doing that, you're going to feel it almost instantaneously. You're like, whoa, okay, I felt the difference, right? Some of you might feel the stretch and your stretch point be only a millimeter, right? And that's okay. Listen, if that's where you're at, that's fine. But back straight is really key. And then you can move forward, because then you're going to feel the stretch all the way down. You can get tingling in the toes, right? That's okay. But back's got to be straight. We got to get that pull on the top side, right? The insertion point. Other way, okay? Same thing. Straighten up. Good. Lean forward. Now, as you can see, I got one like much tighter than the other one. This is the boot story. Remember the boot story? Did I ever tell you the boot story? Pretty sure I did. Right? Injured this foot. This foot was put into a boot for like 2 years. So then I was off balance. And in order to compensate for this foot, so I was essentially limping, right? And me being stubborn and pig-headed, I refused to slow down or walk slower. I was walking full speed. Well, this leg decided it's going to do all the weight to hold me up. That hamstring, tell you what, I got lost through the moon with that thing. It's so tight. All right. So now we're going to do the second note, right? Now that we got the back going, we understand that. And we got the leg, we got the proper stretch. We're going to come down. Now you're going to have to do the relax into the stretch. So you're going to notice right away, as you lean forward, that stretch reflex is going to kick in. And that leg is going to get tight. Your knee is going to hold you up, right? Because it doesn't know what you're doing, right? Your body doesn't, it only understands the tension that it's put under. That's all it's responding to, okay? So for all it knows, you're holding yourself up on the edge of a cliff, right? It doesn't know. So it's going to do its job and tighten up, right? So we come here. Now you're going to feel all that stretch reflex. Now, ready to relax that leg in 3, 2, 1. let go of that leg, and now you're gonna feel that stretch a little bit different, but that kneecap section is just gonna relax, right? Perfect. Good. So for me, this one, the stretch reflex is insane, right? So I gotta come forward. You're getting your stretch, you're feeling it. Good. 3, 2, 1, relax. And let go of that tension. There we go. And you're going to feel right away how you can probably deepen a little bit more on that stretch because that tension's not so ridiculous. Perfect. There we go. Now, stretching the calves, guys, in a chair is pretty challenging because you don't have a lot of range of motion. So ideally, you're going to stand up to do this. But if you're stuck in a situation and you really can't get up, whether it be you're in the middle of a meeting, you're getting a bit of a cramp, right? Or you're, maybe you have mobility issues, maybe you have a child and you're, I don't know how old, well, I know how old your kids are because you're my clients, but we're just saying in general, someone might be breastfeeding even, right? And need to stretch out their calves, okay? So it's pretty hard to do sitting down. But here's what you're going to do. You're not going to worry about getting the heel to the floor in this one, okay? What you're going to worry about is pushing backwards, right? Not a lot, just enough to feel that stretch, right? So we're just toe down, right? And stretch. Okay, so we're just rolling it backwards slightly. You can do a smaller version this way if you want, right? And lean forward. If you're not comfortable having the foot all the way back, you can do it this way. Right, so you see the angle doesn't require a lot to stretch out a calf. And it just needs to get that angle, right? It just needs to have that portion. What the benefit of this does is that gives you a bigger range of motion. So if you have a deeper stretch, you can go a little bit farther. But if you just want a quick one, no problem. Now, granted, if you're holding a baby, it's not very easy. It'd be pretty obvious if you're in a meeting, right? Which is why I like this guy, right? So then I can sit up straight. But listen, you have to test these out sometimes and find the one that's right for you. Sometimes when we do motion, we're like, it doesn't feel, it feels weird. You know what I mean? Like, this is not working for me. I can't figure out how to do this. I'm doing this. I don't feel any stretches. What am I doing? Listen, try the other one, right? We got to find what works for us, guys. All right? So, last thing we do are the ankles. Okay, now we're gonna let I know we like to do the ankle circles up in the air. We're gonna let it stay on the ground today, but I want to focus on huge, slow circles. 5 big, push them right to the limit circles. If they're squares, also okay. But you probably notice they start off as squares and do these for about a week or two. You say, yeah, okay, that was kind of a circle. As long as you keep the control, and sometimes you gotta look at the foot and watch it, right? So what happens is coordination. Coordination is one of the secondary benefits to exercise. Oh, you hear that one? Yeah, that's my Rice Krispies, because that's my tight leg, right? That's the non-boot leg. The boot leg. Now I get it. No, I don't. It's not the same. All right. And back the other direction. So sometimes you got to look and coordinate, but really try to concentrate. Get that circle. I can make it a circle. You can do it. It's hard, right? A lot harder than it looks when you concentrate, right? Many times people do stuff like this and they'll just wobble this thing around and it's circle. Yeah, it's good. Circle. It's fine. Yeah, right? But you really want to focus and pull and really concentrate on getting that thing into a circle. Why? Because it's hard now when you got to focus, but the better you get at it, then you can do like me, talk to a camera and do some circles. Right? So you can do these whenever you want. These ones, guys, probably one of the few stretches you don't want to do too often, right? This is just getting the kinks out, but you can actually fatigue the tendons down by the foot, right? So overstretching is not good either. All right, so there we go. Almost done. 2 more to go. Bingo, and done. That's it, guys. I mean, piece of cake, right? You did fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's now it's Wednesday already. What is happening to time and space? I have no idea. It's going by so fast. It's a little bit ridiculous, but that's okay. Listen, it's Wednesday. The weekend's coming, right? So we can all relax pretty soon. It's not so bad out there. It's going to be warming up to about 15 degrees. And yeah, so stay cool. Oh, what are these fun comments? They're too small. Thanks for another day of stretches. Well, you're very welcome. All right? And go out there and have a good time and get some fresh air. It's a beautiful day. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.